My landlord tried to kick me out with just 24 hours notice, and I've never been more thankful it happened. I've been living in this duplex for 3 years, always paid rent on time. My landlord, Mitchell, was this low-key older man who had 4 places around the block. Then back in March, he handed my building over to his nephew Derek out of the blue. Derek messaged me on a Tuesday morning, "You've got until tomorrow to clear out. I'm the new owner, and I want the space for myself." I rang him right away. That's against the law. My lease runs through December. It carries over with the sale. Check the details. You're gone tomorrow or I'll swap the locks. I dug out my lease. No clause about ending early if ownership shifts. I replied with the state's rule on 60 days notice. He shot back, "Laws are for folks who can hire attorneys. Can you?" I couldn't. I was scraping by on rent with 2 jobs after my wife's hospital bills from her sudden appendectomy 6 months back. We still owed $12,000 even with insurance. The timing was awful. Wednesday morning, Derek rolled up with a locksmith at 9 a.m. I was still home, prepping for my shift. "Time's over. Get out or I'll drag you myself." I cracked the door, phone in hand. "I'm filming this. You're doing an unlawful eviction." He snatched my phone and crushed it on the pavement. "Whoops, no evidence now." The locksmith looked shocked and bolted. Derek chuckled. "That dude cost me $200. "Thanks a lot." What Derek didn't realize was I'd been live streaming to my laptop the entire time. My wife was inside seeing it all. I contacted the county housing office. They promised an investigator in 48 hours. Derek caught that and grinned. "I'll return tomorrow with cops and a warrant." Savor your final night. That night, my wife got hit with intense belly pain, right where her surgery was. I sped her to the ER, scared it was something serious. Docs tested for 4 hours while I paced the lobby, freaking out. We couldn't handle more bills. We were already sunk. They said it was extreme stress causing gut cramps. The eviction mess had wrecked her body. They prescribed relaxants and discharged us at 2 a.m. Thursday morning. Derek appeared at 8 a.m. with 2 officers. I answered, "Wiped out. My wife's knocked out on the sofa from meds." "This guy's squatting on my land," Derek told them. "I gave him 48 hours and he won't budge." I laid it out coolly, showed my lease, the texts, all of it. One cop, an older one named Chen, eyed Derek with revulsion. "You can't toss someone out this way," Chen added. "This breaks the law." "We're not backing you." Derek turned beet red. "I own this place. I call the shots." "No, you don't," Chen replied. Then he advised me, lodge a report with housing, save every record. Just then a housing inspector showed up. My call got bumped to urgent due to Derek's threatening messages. She snapped pics of my wrecked phone, took notes from the cops, and slapped on an urgent ban, blocking Derek from the property or reaching me for 90 days during the probe. Derek yelled at everybody. The inspector warned she'd summon help if he didn't go. He finally stomped away. In the following 2 weeks, I found out Derek had pulled this on 3 other renters in buildings Mitchell sold him, all single women. He'd bullied 2 into bailing without refunds. The third was a nursing student, too slammed with school to push back. Legal aid linked us up. We hit the attorney general with a group claim. Derek's attorney offered settlements. $8,500 to me for the botched eviction, broken stuff, and mental strain. The student scored $11,000. The 2 who'd left got $6,000 apiece. I accepted, cleared the leftover medical debt, got my wife a fresh laptop for her virtual classes, and stashed the balance for a down payment on a nicer spot in a better area. Derek got labeled a rogue landlord. Housing banned him from leasing units for 2 years. His girlfriend never ended up moving in. My uncle tore up my passport to keep me from leaving home. So I phoned his wife. As soon as I revealed where the backup documents were stashed, he grabbed for the phone in my grip. I'm 22 now, and I've lived with my Uncle Trevor and his wife since I was 16. My folks passed away in a crash, and Trevor was the only relative who stepped up to take me in. Things were okay for a long time. He got me through high school, covered my community college costs, acted like I was his own child. But once I got into a college out of state, it all flipped. Trevor pulls me aside one evening. "No need to head off like that. Plenty of solid schools around here." I tell him this program's ideal for my field. Full ride, great internship hooks. His expression turned stiff. "You're acting ungrateful. After all I've done for you." I let it slide, start prepping to go. Grab flight tickets, box up my things. 2 weeks from takeoff, I reach for my passport in my desk drawer. It's missing. I hunt all over. My bedroom, the car, the kitchen. Zip! I ask Trevor if he spotted it. He just shrugs. "Haven't seen it. You must have misplaced it." His voice sounds weird, but I gotta have that passport. My driver's license is out of date, and I need ID for the plane. I rush an application for a new one. $200 I can barely swing. They warn it'll be at least 2 weeks. My flight's in 12 days. I'm freaking out. Bug the passport office daily. Same story every time. We're rushing it as much as possible. 3 days before departure, I'm ripping through my room once more, hunting for any spare ID. That's when I spot it in the kitchen garbage, buried under coffee grinds and eggshells. My passport ripped to shreds. I fish out the bits. The picture's sliced in two. The pages are ruined. Trevor comes in, notices what I've got. You did this, I accuse. He doesn't bother denying. You're staying put. You belong with family here. You wrecked my passport. I'll replace it once you drop that school. My hands tremble. I've already put down the deposit. Quit my local job. Well, that was your error. I glare at him, this guy who took me in when I was alone, who I relied on totally. I'm going anyway, I insist. Trevor edges nearer. With what for ID? License expired. Can't board a flight. Can't even lease a place without real proof. He's got a point. No passport means I'm trapped. The rush one's too late. I threaten to call the cops. Trevor chuckles. And say what? You misplaced it, and I tossed some junk? Have fun. He strolls off. I slump there, eyeing the torn scraps. Then it hits me. My parents' safe box. The one Trevor stows in his closet upstairs. He mentioned years back it holds key family papers you might want eventually. I bide my time till Trevor heads to work. His wife Diane's lounging downstairs with the TV on. I slip into his room, locate the box. Keys in the nightstand, like always. Inside, my birth cert, social security card, parents' death certs, and another passport. Mine from when I was little. Trevor held on to it for emergencies. I snap pics of it all on my phone. Then I dial Diane. She picks up from below. Yeah? Come up here quick? She enters the room, sees me with the box. What are you up to in here? I wave the old passport. Trevor claimed he had no clue where mine was, but he's kept this locked up. Diane's look shifts. I wasn't in on that. He shredded my main one. You aware? She clams up, dug the pieces from the bin. He owned up to it to block my move. Diane drops onto the bed. Trevor's been worried sick about you going. Worried enough to trash my official docs? No reply. I grab my phone, ring Trevor. He answers quick. What? I got the safe box open, quiet on his end. Got my kid passport in hand, the one you swore you didn't have. Put it away. I glance at Diane. She's eyeing me close. Also got my birth cert, social security, all the stuff you've hidden from me. That's for protection, and I'm about to clue Diane in on where you stashed the rest. Trevor's tone ices over. Don't you dare! I meet Diane's gaze. Filing cabinet in his office, lowest drawer, back of the warranty stuff. I hear Trevor scrambling. Door slam. Folder marked property docs. I keep going. Hang up now. It's got the titles to his rental spots. The ones he said he offloaded 3 years back. Diane rises, heads out. Over the line, Trevor's engine revs. The spots he's still pulling rent from, around $4,000 monthly. Diane's steps creak down to his office. Trevor pants heavy. You don't get what you've started. I do, actually. He starts to spit more, but Diane's voice echoes faint through the call. She's in there now. What is this crap, Trevor? Trevor snatches at the phone. Call drops. I flew out with my old passport 3 days on. And now for the next story. Right before we sliced our birthday cake, my twin sister leaned in and whispered, Have fun tonight. Come morning, they'll all believe you swiped from Grandma. I went stiff, knife still in my grip. My twin Nadia posed there grinning for the pictures like she hadn't just wrecked my world. Our whole family was gathered, uncles, aunts, cousins, marking our 18th birthday at the spot Grandma had booked just for us. I tried to savor the rest of the bash, but her threat kept looping in my mind. Nadia played the ideal granddaughter all evening, topping off Grandma's wine, cracking up the crowd with tales from when we were kids. I saw her embrace Grandma farewell, notice how she hung around Grandma's fancy bag on the coat hook. Next morning, I jolted awake to yelling. Mom burst into my room, clutching a pawn slip. Where's Grandma's bracelet? What bracelet? I was groggy. The diamond one, valued at $12,000, the one Dad gifted her for their 50th. Mom's fingers trembled. This pawn ticket was in your jewelry case, dated last night, 11:30 p.m. I didn't do it, but Grandma was already at my door, tears streaming. Dad loomed behind her, looking like I'd betrayed him deeply. Nadia showed up last, her expression a flawless mix of surprise and worry. I can't believe this, Dad muttered. We had faith in you. I didn't do this, I insisted. Nadia set me up. She warned me at the party. Quit fibbing, Mom snapped. The proof's staring us down. Nadia moved closer, her tone shaky. I hated to mention it, but I've been concerned about her. I spotted betting apps on her phone last week. DraftKings, FanDuel, 3 more. I snatched my phone. She was spot on. 5 betting apps I'd never downloaded. All added 2 days back at 3 a.m. while I slept. Our phone records confirmed the installs. I scanned the timestamps. 3:17 a.m., 3:19 a.m., 3:23 a.m., 3:26 a.m., 3:31 a.m. These got loaded while I was out cold, I said. How handy, Uncle Ray chimed in from the hall. More relatives were piling up. News spreads quick. Nadia had tears welling now. I should have spoken up earlier. I should have helped her before it hit this point. The whole family bought her story. Why not? We were identical twins, but Nadia was always the golden child, perfect grades, charity gigs, leading the church youth crew. I was the rebel who got busted sneaking out in 10th grade, the one with the speeding fine, the one who scraped by to graduate. That afternoon, they called a family huddle. 15 folks squeezed into our living room, all debating my issues and what support I required. Counseling, treatment programs, shipping me off to Aunt Claire in Montana to keep me from more trouble. I perched on the sofa, silent, just absorbing them mapping out my future, while Nadia sat next to me, gripping my hand like a caring sibling. Then I rose and hooked my laptop to the TV. "Before we settle on anything," I said, "you all need to see this." The room went dead quiet. I queued up the security video from our bedroom. The cam I'd set up 3 months ago in the smoke alarm after 20s kept vanishing from my wallet. "What's this?" Mom asked. "Just watch." The timestamp hit the morning after our bash, 6:47 a.m. Nadia snuck into our room, headed right for Grandma's fancy bag left on our desk, and yanked out the diamond bracelet. She lifted it to the dawn light, eyeing it closely. 6:52 a.m. She popped open my jewelry box and slipped the pawn ticket inside, hiding it under my silver chains. 7:15 a.m. She grabbed my phone off the nightstand. The display lit up as she added app after app, her features glowing in the dim space. 7:43 a.m. She wrapped the bracelet in a scarf and stashed it in her backpack. The living room stayed utterly still. You could pick up Uncle Ray's labored breaths, Aunt Claire's quick gasp, Grandma's faint sob. I froze the footage on a clear view of Nadia's face during the final bedding app install. Her look icy and scheming, miles from the worried sister routine she'd pulled all day. "There's plenty more," I added. "The cam's recorded for 3 months. Want to view the other time she pinched from me? The charges she racked up on my card? The car she rented under my name and ditched, leaving me with the $800 bill?" Nadia's face went pale as a ghost. She got up slowly, hands shaking. "You were always the star," she murmured, voice breaking. "Everyone adored you more. You skated by on everything. I was flawless, and nobody cared. I just wanted them to view you like I did. I wanted them to spot me at last." Grandma rose, her expression sterner than ever. "Get out of my house," she said softly. "Gather your stuff and go tonight." Mom broke into sobs. Dad just gawked at Nadia like he was meeting her anew. Nadia vanished that night. My cousin told her hubby she was an only kid, so I showed up at their anniversary bash with the adoption docs proving she gave up 2 siblings. Riley and I lived just 3 houses down from each other growing up. Our moms were sisters, so we had endless sleepovers, identical Halloween outfits, and shared birthday bashes at the local pool. We were like brother and sister until the summer she hit 16. That's when she got knocked up. Our folks kept it under wraps. Riley vanished to our grandma's place upstate for 7 months. When she returned, she had this empty stare that stuck around forever. The baby was adopted out. We were ordered to never bring it up. What no one beyond our close family knew was that 8 months on, it happened once more. Different boy from her new school, another pregnancy, another stay at grandma's, another kid surrendered for adoption. After that second one, Riley totally remade herself. New crowd, new look, new attitude. She shifted from quiet and nice to sharp and distant. By graduation, the old Riley was gone. I tried connecting in college, but she held me at bay. We'd bump into each other at family events, swap small talk, and that was all. She headed to California for a job. I stuck on the East Coast. Time flew by with barely any chats. Then she got engaged. My aunt rang me about the engagement meal, noting Riley asked for me specifically. I figured she might want to patch things up, so I flew over. The spot was fancy, with cloth napkins and servers in vests. Her fiancé Nolan looked solid. Successful architect, truly nice, obviously crazy about Riley. Midway through the meal, he chatted about their plans. How they talked adoption since Riley couldn't have bio kids. How he'd accepted never sharing a pregnancy with his wife because he loved her so deeply. I stopped chewing. Riley's foot kicked my shin hard under the table. She'd claimed infertility to him. I stepped out to the restroom. Riley trailed me 30 seconds later, clutching my arm as the door shut. "Don't," she snarled. "Don't you dare spill a word, Riley. You fed him a huge lie. It's not your concern. I'm safeguarding our life. Kids would wreck all I've created." "He needs the truth." She leaned in, her tone turning menacing. "If you breathe one syllable, I'll paint you as the jealous, resentful type you've always been. I'll say you're fabricating because you hate my joy." I bolted from the restaurant without farewells. 3 years went by. Riley and Nolan tied the knot. I got no invite. They relocated to Portland. From social media, they seemed content. I told myself maybe I should have stayed silent. Maybe her fib wasn't mine to correct. Then my brother Devin phoned last month. He'd crossed paths with Riley at a Seattle coffee joint. She spun the same tale. Dead relatives, only child, sad backstory. Devin was baffled, having sat through years of family meals with her. That's when I learned she'd told Nolan her whole family perished in a car crash at 19. Parents, siblings, grandparents, all wiped out. She was solo in the world. 2 weeks later, their 5th anniversary invite hit my mailbox, rerouted from my former address. Someone ensured I received it. I buzzed Devin. "Road trip to Portland. I'll handle the wheel." I used those 2 weeks gathering duplicates of everything. Birth certs for both kids, hospital files with Riley's sign-off, adoption forms, pics from family meetups she denied ever happened. I stuffed it in a manila envelope marked "The Real Riley." We arrived Saturday night. The home was stunning, packed with Nolan's architect pals and Riley's work buddies. Twinkle, lights out back, catered eats, anniversary cake on the table. Riley opened the door. Her face went pale so quick I worried she'd pass out. Surprise, Devin chirped. We couldn't skip this. Nolan popped up behind her, grinning, offering his hand. You must be pals from back east. Riley's brought up you two. Cousins, really? I replied, gripping his hand. Shocked she skipped that. Riley's jaw clenched. Can we chat alone? Actually, I yanked the envelope from my bag. I got some family snaps to show. Since you claimed your kin died, I figured Nolan should glimpse them. I flipped it open right there. This is Mia, I said. Born March 14th, 2007, Riley's girl. Nolan's grin vanished. What? And Julian, born November 3rd, 2007, Riley's boy. Both adopted away. Riley charged, but Devin stopped her. Guests gawked. Nolan scanned the papers. Birth certs, signatures, shots of teen pregnant Riley. His hands trembled. You said you were infertile, he muttered. You said your family was gone. Nolan, I can clarify. Who are you? He whispered. The envelope dropped, doc spilling on the floor. I turned and left.